Oh, okay. I've got, I need to change this. Hold on. No, no. Well, it's hard to do. So I think maybe I can do it that way. There. My orientation is throw it off. I should have done it. Hold on. Oh, maybe I got it. Yeah, I've got it upright. I tried to change the orientation, but I don't think I can. Let's see. Oh, maybe. I'm assuming that y'all are seeing me. Let's see. Glad to see you covering. I hope you're recovering well. That's from Bakersfield. Hold on. Let me see if I've got this thing going. Let's see. I think I do. I'm trying to get all my stuff set up here, y'all. Be patient. I thought I had this set up. Let's see live. Can you see me? Can y'all see me? Oh, okay, you can see me. I got you. Thanks. Yes, sir. Y'all can see me. Good deal. Good deal. I've got the orientation changed different than what I wanted. I wanted it anyway. It is what it is. Hey, man. I'm gonna do questions. I ask folks to post questions that they had. There, I've got my little stand. Man, my view's not great. Wish I had a little better lighting. But it is what it is. All right, y'all can see me. What's up, Conway, Arkansas? I'm gonna try to keep up with the stuff as it goes, but I did ask for questions, and folks asked me some questions. So let me go to those. Let me see. Let's go to the questions. There's some that y'all had posted. This is what I'm going. I'm looking on my iPad here, and it's here. So this is where you've been. So God bless you. Yeah, this is where I'm at home right now. I'm getting ready. I've got a trip scheduled for the last third of the month. It's the 22nd. I think I'm supposed to catch a boat the 22nd. Good. I'm gonna read through these. Good seeing you're doing well. Thank you. This is from Chet. Don't you? Kins. Okay. I had back surgery in 18 to fix a herniated disc. This is somebody I'm reading. I'm reading their stuff. I'm reading the questions. Good to see you. You're back. Procedure done okay? Question mark. I had back surgery in 18 to fix herniated disc and for spinal stenosis. I had a neurosurgeon perform the job in Wichita, Kansas. I was licensed aircraft mechanic. And anyway, I think I put the answer on there. I had mine done at Baptist Integris here in Oklahoma City. The surgeon is. I happened to get real lucky that He's an excellent. He's like one of the top in the nation surgeons, spine surgeons. Uh, Capel. See, I knew I was going to do that. Trying to remember stuff. Anyway, my surgeon was out of Baptist in Tergus in Oklahoma City. He's the one that did my neck surgery. They went through the front. I've had surgery before, and the one that I talked about 40 years ago was here. That was the upper vertebrae in my neck. They did those back in what was it, 1985. I had that done in Lawton, Oklahoma. Then I was lifting weights and stuff like that, and everything was, just working on boats, lifting weights on days off, and was getting ready to go back to the boat, and noticed I was having some tingling in my hands and having some problems. Long and the short, I ended up having to go to the emergency room. They went through the front on this one, and they did the vertebrae. I think it's 3 through 6. I think they did, and then I've got, yeah. See, I knew it was going to be messed up if I didn't have all the information right in front of me. But I did the upper vertebrae I had done 40 years ago, and the ones below it were the ones that caused me problems. And I started getting numbness in my hands and toes and stuff. And then it went from that to I was sitting in the house, not able to move, and my wife was, not knowing what to do with me. And we called my doctor, and he said, go to the emergency room. So that's when I went and had the surgery done. I was there. Some of the videos that I have posted, you can see where I was before I had the surgery. I didn't have any move. I didn't have. I was a total quadriplegic. I woke up from surgery feeling instantly better, and yeah, he fixed me, man. He fixed me. I've been doing a lot of the physical rehab, the PT. I did a lot of PT that was prescribed by doctor. I got through all that, and I'm to the point now where I'm actually lifting weights again. So yeah. See, y'all, I'm up in my belly. Gosh, see, my belly's working. I'm working on my belly, but I've been eating so much. But I getting around. I mean, I'm getting around good. I posted videos when I had my robe on, and I'm trying to get this straightened back up again here. I had my robe on when I was posting videos, and people automatically assumed that I was still sick or ill. Gosh, I'm having troubles with my camera. Anyway, yeah, they went through my throat. So that's a lot of my health issues that I was dealing with. I'm good. I've got all kinds of wires and contraptions up in my neck now, but I'm physically getting back and good. It was a miracle, y'all. I mean, it was straight up. I don't know how y'all feel about whatever religion you have or whatever, but I've been going to church. I made some deals with the Lord when I was paralyzed before surgery and not able to do anything. You make some deals, and I know that's not really what the Lord's into, making deals, but hey, man, that's me and his shit. It's me and his stuff. So I go to church regular now. Prayers were answered, I know. So I got to go somewhere and give thanks. But anyway, and the other one's my wife. She was the one that did a lot of taking care of me. That woman, yeah, she did. Ro did a lot of above and beyond stuff that is let me know she's definitely a good pick and the right one for it. So anyway, I was tired, man. Y'all, I fell asleep. I meant to do a live stream today sometime, and I said that I was going to do it, so I'm doing it. But I didn't really want to do it. I was tired. So there's that. I'm reading some of the questions. Somebody said I had 3 disc fused at hospital Dubuque last August, and I'm doing great. That's great. That's John Quest. That's great, John. or Johnny Quest. That's great. It's hard to answer questions when I'm doing, when I post videos and stuff, and then people make assumptions and this, that, and the other. So I thought the live stream would be easier, but you see how I'm dealing with the some of the problems with the live stream. Um, yeah, Big Fish 7334 says God is great. I'm convinced. I'm convinced. I mean, that's all I know to say is I'm convinced. Um, I give thanks quite often now. I'm getting better on my slacking off on the arrogance and a little bit more thankfulness in my life. But I'm human. So anyway, and the towboat stuff, man. The question that was driving me up the wall, and it wasn't a bad question. Like I said, there are no bad questions, but I couldn't detail it out. Somebody was basically wanting to know how come there's not semis on the river. Well, that's what we are. We are a semi. We haul semi loads worth on the river, and they didn't quite understand. They weren't, you got to figure in the cost. We can haul 50 truckloads per barge. So if you can fill a barge up, then there you go. Give us a call to barge dispatch, and we'll haul the stuff for you. Now you're going to have to have an area to load, an area to offload, drivers for all that stuff, loading and offloading equipment. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff to that. So you're starting to see kind of where that money goes and how come it costs so much to do. But yeah, if you've got 50 barge loads that you can haul in a truck, and you've got a place to load it and unload it, and drivers and loaders and equipment to handle all that stuff, hey man, we can haul it for you. So there's that. Yeah, I try to answer the questions like I said that I can. I'm bad. It's hard to read and be entertaining. I watch this stuff back through again in my live streams, and I get frustrated with myself sometimes. I'm trying to read through here and see. Most of them are just thankful. People are thanking me that I'm back on the river. Hey man, the reason that you're watching this and that I'm doing this is because of you. Each one of you that are watching this right now, the reason I'm not wasting time, I'm spending my time doing it, is because it's worth it to me. Y'all have made it worthwhile to me. And I really do appreciate that. I appreciate all the views. I appreciate the questions. And I try to get to answering all of them that I can. Let me just read through here and see what some of these folks have to say. I'm trying to read you're doing well. Thanks. Brian Acker says, you're glad you're doing well. Thank you, brother. Have you ever run the Yes, the Tennessee River. Somebody wants to know that. That's the one I can answer. I've run it up to Kentucky Lake. That's as far up to Tennessee that I've been. I've run it up to Kentucky Lake, and that's same with the Cumberland. I've run the Cumberland to Kentucky Lake, and that's as far up the Cumberland that I've been. But yeah, that's as far as up to Tennessee that I've run. Uh, yep, all is well. The Captain Urban. Hey, hello, Cappy. Hope all is well. Yeah, all is well. I'm very thankful. I'm very happy. What's your favorite boat? Oh, that's a good question. There was a question that somebody had posted online about what boats were better, St. Louis ship, Dravo, or what was or Jeff boat, I think was one of them. But there, of all the boats that I've rode, um, to be real honest, the Dravo boats, I think because I'm just used to the old, like the Stone Strait, that boat and that era of vessels that were built I think in the mid to late '80s, that Dravo built. Those are just I'm kind of used to the way they handle and stuff, so I do like the Dravo vessels, and I'm gonna stick with that. The boat that I'm gonna catch is one of the big 200 foot, or it's 180 some odd foot old Dravo vessels that they used to make. Um, and that's the Paul Clausen is the name of it now. But that's the boat I'm going to be catching. It's one of those big long 200s. It's a sister ship to the Charles Strait. I think the Charles and it are the same, but those big long Dravo boats. It's 7,200 horsepower. So yeah, let's see. I like the inland rivers, but it was crazy where I was. Outlaws and felons, LOL. Well, it matters on where you're going. There's outlaws and felons pretty much anywhere, anywhere you want to look for them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The felons, ex felons are, I've worked with some great guys that have felony records. And they've changed their life and turned it around, and that was in the past. So yeah, I've worked with all types. Uh, yeah, they all have their pros and cons. Nick Fanning, my son's on here. What the hell? Have you ever ran on the Mississippi? I heard it's a big river. Listen here, my son is being a comedian. He thinks he's being funny. I'm gonna put it out there on now. I'm the reason I'm mad at you, turd head, is because you didn't come see me this weekend when you said you was. So if you're gonna put stuff out there on social media, there you go, Nick Fanning. Love you, bud, but yeah, I'm still pissy at you. Put that all out there now. Yeah, somebody's. Let's see. Did you ever drive any triple screw towboats? I have, and it was the Lois Ann. It was a Lois Ann, which was I've got that right there. That ring buoy is off of, and it was a 5600 triple screw that I started out working on Illinois with, and I did some steering on that boat. So I can say that yes, I have drove a triple screw, but it was the Lois Ann, and it was that boat's in South America now. Uh, let's see. What boat would you get for doing the loop upon retirement? Hey man, that's something that I don't know. That's out of my realm. I haven't drove too many boats like that, but um, that's something that I've asked and I've tried to learn. I see those boats going up and down the river, but I don't know anything as far as what type they are, other than what I've seen on YouTube. The stuff that I've tried to learn. I've talked to a few of those guys on the radio. Just a brief amount of time that I've had chances to do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's a good answer to that one. And upon retirement, that's another thing. I don't plan on doing any retiring anytime soon. I rode the boats with men that were in their 80s, that were wheelmen and were excellent wheelmen still up into their 80s. So I've got goals to push it on up into my 80s. I'm 55, by the way. I'm 55. So I've got a ways to go. Somebody says, remember watching you go north on Mighty Mississippi River, and you came across some loopers that got me on a tangent about loopers. Oh, okay. And glad that you're getting better. Okay, there you go. But yeah, that's something that I think is great. As far as knowing what type of boats and stuff, I haven't even got that far. I've just basically kind of got an idea of where they run and I watch YouTube videos. I've learned a lot from watching the YouTube videos. It's strange and funny to me that some of the loopers watch my videos to learn stuff. But if I can help out in any way, I will with it. My fellow boaters, I'm in the commercial end of it now, but one day I'll be in the pleasure craft part. Uh, I follow a guy that does it on a shanty boat, 24-foot pontoon fitted with all the cabin, low budget. Yeah, I've seen that also. Those are kind of neat. You can go low budget, you can go high end. There's lots of different things you can do, and I'm looking into all of them. Have you ever been up to Arkansas? Not lately, but yes, I've run all the way up to the end of the line on the navigable waterways there at Catoosa. I've been all the way up to Catoosa. I used to run up there about once a year, but it's been actually a couple of years since I've been up to Arkansas. Um, yeah, I don't know if I'll make it again. You know, my trips are booked. You know, before I make them, so there's always a possibility until I retire. And then, like you said, there's nothing planned soon on that. Let's see. There aren't many loopers anymore. I can see the few and far between. Thanks, Captain Urban. Yeah, man, I mean, that would be expensive. And it could get real expensive, but also think it's a great adventure that's possible to. I think it's, possible. It's like somebody said, a pontoon boat that's been fitted out. You know, I'm into that. I'm into that, an adventure. So, yeah, I'm. Haven't done the loop yet, but I'm definitely curious, and I know people that have, and maybe one of these days soon. Um, let's see. Somebody's buying a 1952. It's Chief Vince buying a 1952 Equity 45-foot tugboat to do it. An old Army Corps boat. Now that sounds real intriguing. That sounds really neat. Yeah, that does sound neat. The fuel cost is the biggest thing I would be concerned about and the biggest expense. But yeah, that sounds really neat. The 19, I'm gonna have to go Google that now. The 1952 Equity 45 tugboat. That's cool. That's cool. Thanks, Chief Vince. Hello from Minnesota. Step Van Dan. Hello in Minnesota, buddy. Uh, Hold on. Chief Vince. Porto Novo is the cheapest and safe. If not, Good River, lay it up. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. They have an association now. This is the urban. This is back. This is all staying. We're on the loop discussion now, I guess. Uh, no, I'm not boatman. Boatman. I'm not on the river yet, but I will be soon. The end of this month, towards the end of this month, I'll be going back out. Oh, you're in Marquette, Iowa. I know where Marquette, Iowa is. Yeah, I know where that is. As a matter of fact, I went through there uh, heading up to McGregor last trip I rode out back in October when I was out there for Yazoo. Uh, let's see, pontoon. Okay, I got you. Uh, okay, I will drop their fat book link in for you. Oh, thank you, thank you, Captain Captain Urban. I appreciate that, man. I'll check out the link. Thanks, man. Steve 4IU. Hello from Bluffton, Indiana. I, if that's on the river, I might know where it's at, but it's been a while since I've run the Ohio, so I'm not sure if that's on the river or not, on Ohio River or not. Um, and I'm reading some of these through. Chief Vince, I'm in South Chicago, right off the Illinois River. Yeah, I know. Hey, I used to run to Lamont up there. At Lamont, we would do a turnaround there but because we were on the boats that couldn't make it under the bridges, so we could make it to Lamont and we turn around and come back. That's where I started out my river career, was working up there, South Side Chicago. Yep, I'm familiar with it, and I'm sure that there's that Calumet slip. There's a Calumet River, so that was one of the slips we used to go to. That's pretty neat, Chief Vince. Damn it, Kyle, I am Trey. Okay, all right. And Chief Vince says, we fleet lake tow and run a dry dock. Yeah, I know that dry dock. I think we loaded in off of it there at that Calumet slip. Or we loaded up a tugs on a barge there. Or I was seeing it or something. That's been a while back. Skip D Dun. If you ever get back on the Arkansas River, I'll wave at you when you come through the lock at Toad Suck Lock. I know where Toad Suck Lock is. That's there, right around in the Little Rock area. That's around the Little Rock area. Actually, it would be a little bit west of Little Rock because I see on I-40 you see that sign going through, and I've been through the lock. I've got videos actually going through the lock on here somewhere back in my catalog. That's the thing, folks. I've got close to 1,300 or close to 1,400 videos on my channel. So put in keywords and go look. Put Mark Twain and then keywords, and it'll pull up my videos and hopefully what you're looking for. I've got better at posts and stuff like that with keywords and stuff like that. But I've got close to 1,400 videos on this channel that are on here that you can watch. So going back, way back. So anyway. Okay, John Loomis. I enjoy your videos. I've been watching the big boats on the Mississippi at Louisiana, Missouri. I know where Louisiana, Missouri is. Louisiana Bridge. I'm very familiar with Louisiana, Missouri. That's on the upper, y'all. That's up above St. Louis. Folks don't know. So when you see Louisiana, Missouri, or people say Louisiana, yeah, that's a town in Missouri. Appreciate the shout out there, John. All my life, you've lived in some really pretty area. Yeah, Chief Vince says, yeah, would stop by now and then when I came back, had a chance. Hey, Cap, how's it going? It's going great. Timothy Carey, it's going great, man. When's the next trip, Cap? 22nd of July. 22nd of this month, I have it scheduled the 22nd. I've got scheduled to go catch the Paul Clausen on the 22nd. As long as that holds up. So we'll see. I'll keep everybody updated. And I do have the 2 new drones that I'm going to have to alter. Because they're DJI, so they're good till December when they start shutting these things off. But yeah, I've got that one, and then I've got my other one. Yeah. Yeah. I've got my it speaks to you in Chinese, so that's telling you how much longer that thing's going to operate. But I've got that one, and I've got my little mini 4K. So anyway, let's see. That's the next trip. So wondering what sports teams you're rooting for. Oklahoma State. I went to Oklahoma State University, so I'm I'm a cowboy, y'all. Oh, hold on. Here. There. I'm a cowboy. That's what team I like. That's the team. People want to know what team I like. There, I'll put it on there. That's the team I like right there. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. I've been on Mississippi River and it's getting better, and that they release more water upstream. Oh yeah, I imagine it was getting low. Yeah, I'm a cowpoke. I'm a cowpoke. I'm a cowboy. If y'all aren't familiar with the Oklahoma State and what we're good at, go check out the Magic Man. He's our coach, our wrestling coach, David Taylor. We got a new coach this year, and if you don't know anything about the Magic Man, David Taylor, go Google that and go look up and watch some of his videos. But that's our coach. And if anybody that saw any wrestling this year know about Wyatt Hendrickson and how he did, yeah, we've got some pretty neat stuff going on in Stillwater. But anyway, that's where my son was born. My son was born in Stillwater. My daughter was born in Paducah, Kentucky. So I've got a cowboy and a Kentucky girl. Yeah, that's anyway. I've done a little bit. I've been on here almost 30 minutes, y'all. So that's gone. Hold on. What is the most difficult lock? I was going to say the most difficult lock, I would say probably, wow, it matters on with or without tug assist. Without tug assist, any one of them above St. Louis. But as far as most difficult lock, that's really circumstantial. That's really hard for me to answer because I've made sometimes where if we have tug assist on the upper, those locks are really easy. I'm gonna say lock 25 can be Booger Bear north and south. 25 overall, just skill sets used. Lock 25. I've lost a cut at 25. There's a video on here with footage from losing our lead 9 barges when we were southbound. We lost them and had to lock down to go catch them. I had half my deck crew and 9 barges that were southbound out of the lock, and they didn't stop. They didn't get the second cut stopped, and it kept on going. And we had to lock down with the tug and go catch them down the river. Caught them downstream about 4 miles downstream, and they were right in the middle of the river when we caught up to them. I only broke one wire on that whole deal. Uh, Hank the farmer said hi. Hey, Hank the farmer, I'm a fan. Any farmers, I'm a fan. Uh, what is the Chain of Rocks Canal around St. Louis and what is used for? The Chain of Rocks Canal is where we run. That's where the lock is. So lock 27. So we go through the Chain of Rocks Canal, and at the lower end of it, the southern end of it, is lock 27. That's the last lock before the Gulf of Mexico. So once you get out of it, you got open water all the way to the Gulf of Mexico from St. Louis. That's what makes it so much different running that lower than the upper, because the upper is a locking river. Um, yeah, yep, that's what I was going to say. Because when you have a big toe, it gets tricky. That's all circumstantial. I feel more comfortable I've been on a 35 barge loaded tow going southbound on the lower Mississippi River can be easier than a 12 barge empty tow northbound on the upper. You have a windy day, yeah. There's a lot of circumstance. It's circumstantial. It's hard for me to really say when I get questions about what's the hardest this time. Well, it's easier for me to answer per trip. I've had harder trips, like I said, one way, and easy trips the other. It's circumstantial as far as where I would prefer to be is southbound with a loaded tow, no tow work, southbound with a loaded tow out of Cairo, Illinois, headed to the Gulf. That's that makes that's makes things easy for me. Now that's with what I know and what I've trained with and stuff like that. To a young guy that's just starting out somewhere, that would seem like the most terrifying thing ever, anywhere. But for me, it's the most relaxing and easy time. Is a full loaded out tow where we're not going to have tow worker stops in between, and just southbound from Cairo straight to the Gulf. That's perfect. That's when I can set podcasts and set up there to listen to and just chill and drive, and drive. So yeah, yeah. The 22nd can't get here fast enough. Hey man, I'm ready for it, y'all. I've loaded up with equipment. Like I said, I've got a lot of equipment. I've got a lot of new equipment out. So I'll be ready to roll. Uh, Yeah, I've got, like I said, the 2 drones that I've got. I've got that flip, and then I've got my 4K, uh, mini 4K. I've got it. So as long as they're operating and DJI didn't get shut down by the government, which that's going to happen. I'm thinking December is what it's looking like, and the laws are going to change and all that stuff, and then we'll lose. Yeah, unless DJI comes out with some deal with the government. Yeah, I'll have to swap over to American made, and that's not bad. It's just they're definitely about twice the cost. So we'll see. Yeah, somebody asked about running the Tennessee River again. Yeah, I no, I don't. I don't run the uh, Tennessee to Tom Bigby in Mobile Bay. No, I don't. I don't run down there. I've run up. I've run as far as Kentucky Lake on Tennessee and the Cumberland. That's as far as I've run. Kentucky Lake. What would rather have power the push boat, powering the push boat, end or Caterpillar? Oh, I'm not sure what Timothy. I'm not sure what that means. What would what would rather have power the pushing boat end or Caterpillar? Oh, Caterpillar. Those Caterpillar motors or EMDs. I guess that's what you're asking. That really doesn't matter to me as long as they run. That's chief engineer stuff getting in down there. As long as it runs, I don't care what motor it is. Tip on downstreaming. Get up high enough. Somebody wants to know a tip on downstreaming. Get upriver high enough to make your turn. In other words, if you're way on up, you need to get upriver. Give yourself a lot of room upriver, and make sure that you can shift them in and out of gear. I give it a little check shift just to see how it handles, see how quick it ships up. I'll do a little bit of that before I actually touch up. But get plenty area upriver. That's the key. Get upriver. If you got to go a mile upriver, I'm not joking. Get a mile upriver and get turned around and then ease down on it. And also knowing how quick your motors will ship up, how quick they'll shift. So I'll knock it in and out of gear to see how both my engines work and how quick they do. So when I'm getting down to face up, I'll have an idea how to downstream on it. But give yourself plenty of room. Get way upriver. Hope to see me through a Keokuk Lock 19 sometime. I've been through it many times, so I've been on there. I'll let if I'm on the boat, I definitely let folks know I'm headed that way. So yeah. Yeah, he meant EMD. I got that too. Saints Southern Farming TV. I got that. He was meaning Caterpillar or EMDs. That real, like I said, that I don't really have a preference. As long as they're working. And I've had chief engineers that hate caterpillars, and I've had some that uh, like EMDs better. I've never had any chief engineers that said they love caterpillars because it's a lot of maintenance on those things. The EMDs are a lot less maintenance from what it sounds. But I'm being serious. I drive the boats. I'm not in the pit crew. I'm not back there. A lot of that stuff is better answered by a chief engineer. As far as me, as long as I got power, I can stop and I can go. That's all I care about. That's all I need to know about. Preferences on any of that stuff that those trolls down in the engine room, those are different breed of folks down there. I just want everything to work. No small correction. Don't. I didn't get in a hurry, Captain Urban. I got on it. I figured out you were saying MDs or Caterpillar. Yeah, I've probably had more experience running with Caterpillars. I mean with EMDs, but the Caterpillars. Yeah. Hey, if it shoves, it shoves. Yeah. What engine sounds better? The most quiet one, whichever one's the quietest. I don't know. I'm gonna say EMDs on that one. As far as sounding better, that's a chief engineer question. I don't want to hear them at all. I don't want to hear them at all. So the quietest ones are the best ones to me. But now I want them running. I just want them quiet. Um, let's see. Did you work your way up to captain starting as a deckhand? How long did it take to reach captain? Yes, I started out on deck, and that's generally the way that most of us do. Um, till I got to the wheelhouse and was turned loose was about 5 years. I got turned loose actually it was about 4 years when I was completely turned loose and good to go. I'm thinking it was about 4 years because I was told I couldn't do it, that type of deal. But yeah, worked my way up off a deck. I swept floors and changed mop water and all that stuff. That's where we all start at, or most of us. Love hearing the turbos. Hey man, I enjoy. I make videos that have had some of that because I know people like the sound. But like I said, the quieter the better for me. No, and somebody wants to know if I ever ran fleet boats. No, I've never run the fleet boats. I've run some smaller vessels on the Arkansas, and some of those unit tows, working running down New Orleans area, running the unit tows and stuff. But I've never worked a fleet boat. Those guys are a different level of the anybody. It's a different level of experience that does that because I know some of those fleet guys that amaze me. The way they handle the vessels and the way they can do. It's a kind of a. I've said it before. I'm a fan of my peers, and the guys that I work in those fleets with are some of those guys are amazing. Those ones that can down south, those guys that put them on the hip and throw hip barges around and or move them around off the hip and stuff. It's yeah. No, I haven't done that. I started out on the biggest boats. Actually, the first boat that I started steering on was the Cindy Celeste, which is I can't remember which boat it is now, but one of the 6300. It was a 6300, 6300 vessel. That was the first one I ever steered on. What's the creepiest thing you've seen on the river at night? That's a good one. I've almost made a whole video on that. But we were stopped in fog, shoved in the bank there. It was at Red Wing, up in Red Wing, Minnesota, around the turn. And after you make that real tight turn at Red Wing, we had to shove in the bank up above, and there was an old abandoned house there. And me and the mate, we were convinced that it was there was a killer or I don't know. But we were shining a light on the guy, and he walked to the water, walked back in the house. I don't know, but it was literally the and me and the mate made sure all the outside doors were locked. I had the searchlight on him and everything. I need to make a full video in detail where that was and everything. But that outside of accidents that I've had, that was probably the scariest I've ever been in the wheelhouse. We were like a couple of kids up there just screaming and hollering. Anyway, you work for the same company all the time, or do you hire on a trip basis only, like independent contractor? I've done both. I've done a lot of trip. I regularly worked with Western Rivers most recently, but I'm back to tripping now. And actually, if more things work out, I'll go hire full time on this Paul Clausen. But we'll see. Right now, yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. But that kind of answers it both. I've done both. I've done the tripping and I've done dedicated runs for companies and stuff. Let's see. I run push boats out of Sydneyville, Pennsylvania to New Orleans, fuel barges. Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know where Sydneysville is. Is that above Georgetown or above? Is that close to Pittsburgh? I'm not familiar with that, but I know New Orleans. What are the common mistakes you see steersmen make during their journey on getting turned loose? This one's one that I've changed through the years. But as far as biggest mistakes, get your sleep schedule. Get on a sleep schedule. Sleep is the most important thing on that vessel for a wheelman. It's took me years to really realize that, but getting your sleep schedule, making sure that you're getting enough sleep. If you're not rested and ready, then you're not a good pilot. So making sure that you utilize your 12 hours off on the boat to get sleep. Turn the phones off, get some sleep. That's one thing that I must stress. When I started making sure that I was getting the correct amount of sleep, I instantly became a better wheelman. And it not only became better, it was my job became easier once I gave sleep the priority that it deserves. That would be my biggest thing is guys not getting enough sleep. That's definitely something that young guys are bad about it. I was bad about it, and I see young guys bad about it now. But it's one of the most valuable assets we have is our sleep time. Which pays better, tripping or hiring on with the company? Tripping does because they're not paying your insurance. I pay for my own insurance and benefits. You don't get benefits and insurance stuff like that. They just pay a day rate. So it's more. It's more because they makes up for that difference. So tripping is in general now. That's not. It's whatever you can negotiate. So in my case, it's always been tripping's always uh, been anywhere from $100 to $200 a day more for tripping, and that deals with the cost of my insurance and retirement and stuff like that I pay for myself. Pittsburgh area. Hey, thanks, Timothy Carr. I got it, Timothy. Pittsburgh area. Okay, I got you. That's a good run. Pittsburgh to New Orleans. That's a good run. Excuse me. Thank you for the videos. Your content shows parts of the country most of us. Hey, you're welcome, Will. I'll keep it up, man. Like I say, I'm getting the better equipment all the time. So yeah, I'm not working. I'm not working. Somebody says take care, enjoy. I'm not working yet. I'm off. I'm at home right now. I'm at home, so I'm not worried about my sleep right now. So it's not a problem to get up. What are the best stops for two-legged deer for the single hands? What? We don't get off the boat. I get what you're going. Somebody's saying what are the best stops for two-legged deer for the single hands. We don't stop. We don't. We're not getting on and off the boat. We stay on the boats. I mean, we stop, but it's fleet work and stuff. When I go on for my 30 days on, I'm on that vessel for a full 30 days. So yeah. Do you have any problem finding trips? No, I've not. I literally was getting phone calls for trips the day I got out of the hospital. The day that I got home from the hospital after my neck surgery, I was getting phone calls. So, yeah, it's not been a problem. I've never had problems finding trip work. That's that to answer that question. No, I've never had any problem finding trip work. There's always folks needing people. Did you like working on the Baylor? Oh yeah, the Patrick, the Baylor Patrick. Love your videos on that trip. Yes, and thank you for appreciating the videos. I'm getting better, so thank you for the appreciation. And yes, I love that trip. I really did. I really enjoyed the trip. Good people, great equipment. It was a highly enjoyable trip. I really did. Hopefully, I'll make some more trips over there again someday. Honk your horn when you see me on the river. Somebody wants to know how is Cassidy. I don't know who Cassidy is. Unless you're talking about my ex-wife, and I don't really know about her. But my wife now is Rhonda Finning, and she's a retired school teacher. She's a special ed teacher until last year. She retired last year. Special education teacher at Southmore High. How is the captain versus pilot determined? Um, Whoever wants to, that's the office determines it. I prefer backwatch. I prefer pilot because I don't have to deal with the paperwork. At this point in my career, they don't. You get young guys that want the title. They like that captain title. Let them have it. I get paid the same. I get paid the same. My rates never interfered. When I'm running in the wheelhouse, I get paid wheelhouse pay. But a lot of times, It's the office that decides if they want to. Some people have their regular captains that they want over there or not. But like I said, yeah, the office determines that. And if I have my choice, then I ride the back watch and let somebody else handle the front watch. Like I say, my pay's the same. It's just less paperwork. You seem very humble. Hey man, thanks, Hank the farmer. You seem very humble, but where would you rank yourself as far as most capable captain on the river? Oh, I'll tell you, I am. I'm the most capable on the river by far. Not even close. Well, there's a few of them, but yeah, I'm very confident in my abilities. If that goes for you, but it matters who I'm talking to. How's that? How's that? Matters on who I'm talking to. Um, no, I'm convinced I'm the best. I'm the best I've ever rode with. How's that? Yeah, that's a good answer. I'm the best I've ever rode with. Yeah, that's. I'll put it there. There's some excellent wheelmen out there. I will say that. Some of the men that taught me are the best. So yeah, outside of me. Uh, I hope you're coming up the upper sometime soon. Hey man, I hope I do too. I hope I can too. Uh, all right, hold on. You're only as good as your last accident. I disagree with that, Chief Vince, because I've had some accidents where I learned a lot from those, or I prevented a lot of stuff from happening that was worse. So yeah, I don't. The accident thing's kind of a that's hard to explain to folks on a bank because a lot of times they don't. Only the person in the wheelhouse knows what the engine. We could have a drunk engineer that shut the engines off on me, but nobody's going to know unless they read the accident report. So yeah, I'm better than my last accident, and I value a lot of my learning that I've had having accidents. I've learned a lot from them, thankfully. Let's see. Yeah, that's that third person I've asked on Hank the farmer. Yes, it's been a while, but I've run all the way up to Catoosa, to Tulsa, Catoosa on Arkansas. But I don't used to get up there about once a year, but it's been a while since I've been up that Arkansas. It's been about 3 or 4 years since I've been up there, but it used to be about once a year. But yeah, I just don't that much anymore. All right, y'all. That's 52 minutes, y'all. Almost an hour. So time for me to get some sleep. I really do appreciate it. I'll try to do better on answering questions and going through the list that people have asked and stuff. I need to do more of these live streams because it lets me kind of clear off some of that. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I appreciate the questions and the back and forth that y'all gave me. It's been neat and fun, and I'll do more of them, man. Anyway. Yeah, I'm home till the 22nd, so anticipate more live Q and A's. Later, y'all. I think.